Hazrat Muslim Maud Raziyallahu Anhu explained that to spiritually progress, we should continuously study our heart and see if there are more good motivations or evil motivations. If there are more good motivations, then we should know that angels are moving us towards Allah Ta'ala. Rather than look at our actions, instead we should look at the condition of our heart and what motivations and urges are found in our hearts. For example, if we observe prayers, if we fast, if we give zakat, but our heart is averse to it, it doesn't like it, then we should know that we're either in a preliminary stage of striving, or our nafs is forcing us to do these things just out of custom and habit, or to show off. Now on the other hand, if we have not been able to do that many good deeds and good actions according to the standard that we want, but still we find good urges in our hearts, a desire and a passion to do good, then we should know that the angels of Allah Ta'ala are creating a connection with us. So we shouldn't examine ourselves according to our actions, like prayer, fasting, and zakat, to see how much we've increased in righteousness and purity. Instead, we should gauge our righteousness by the condition of our hearts. Now, if good initiatives are increasing in our hearts, then we should know that the angelic influence upon us is increasing, even though we have not been able to free ourselves from some sins. But if evil initiatives are increasing, then even if we're doing good deeds, we should know that our connection with Satan is increasing. And Hazrat Muslim Maud Raziyallahu Anhu said that observing more prayers or fasting is not a sign of faith. Let other people examine our actions. Our job is to examine our hearts. Now, to understand this concept more easily, take school for example. One purpose of school is that we learn a subject so we can apply our knowledge in the real world. But some students just memorize information for the test. And although they get an A, they forget everything immediately after the test. They may have the best GPA, but they retain very little knowledge, and they end up failing in the real world. So a person who gets worse grades than them, but at least he understands what little he learned, that person is a better student than that straight A student who knows everything but understands nothing. Now, another purpose of school is that we create a passion for knowledge. But some students study only for tests. Although they get good grades, but as soon as the exams are over, they never touch a book again until the next semester. School only increases that person's aversion to studying. They dislike it even more. And their plan is that they're never going to study again once they get free from school. Now, a person who gets worse grades than that student, but at least is developing a love for studying in his heart, that person is a better student than the honor roll student who finishes school being more averse to studying than when he started. Sometimes we give examples of students who earned straight A's but failed in the real world. And we give examples of students who barely passed school, but they were very successful in their fields. Now, these examples don't mean that school is pointless. Instead, these examples remind us that academic accomplishments alone don't make a person successful. Someone who misses the point of school is not a good student no matter how good his grades are and what degree he has. So in the same way, the Holy Prophet ﷺ gave examples. He gave examples of apparently righteous people who were sent to hell and apparently unrighteous people who were sent to heaven. Now, this doesn't mean that actions are pointless. These examples remind us that actions alone don't make a person righteous. The purpose of school is to prepare us for the real world and to create in us a passion for knowledge. So similarly, the purpose of actions like salat, like fasting, like zakat, it's to prepare us for the hereafter. It's to create in us a passion for God Almighty. And if those actions, like prayer and fasting and zakat, are not creating that passion within us, then they're not really good deeds. Hazrat Muslim Maud Raziyallahu Anhu explained that if we want to know our grades in the sight of Allah Ta'ala, then we should look within ourselves. If our love for Allah Ta'ala and our enthusiasm to strive in His path is increasing, then we're on the right path, even if our actions aren't currently on the level we would like them to be. Also, we should try observing this one prayer that Hazrat Masih Maud ﷺ taught. He explained that in the initial stages of prayer, just as a person eats bitter medicine for his health, similarly it's necessary to observe a tasteless namaz and prayer. Now in this state of tastelessness, assuming that from it a pleasure and interest will be created, he should pray in these words. He should pray that, "O Allah, you see me, how blind and sightless I am, and at this time I'm in a state of complete lifelessness. I know that after a little while I'll be called to you and will come towards you. At that time no one will be able to stop me, but my heart is blind and ignorant. O Allah Ta'ala, cause such a flame of light to descend upon it, that love and enthusiasm for you may be born in it. Bless me in such a way that I not be raised blind and that I not be gathered with the sightless." Hazrat Masih Maud explains that when he observes this type of prayer and is consistent in it, then he'll see that a time will come when, in that same tasteless namaz, something from the heavens will fall on him and will create emotion. So, whenever we are feeling spiritually down, we can try observing this prayer taught by Hazrat Masih Maud.